I be getting geeked, I'm enthralled for every speaker. Updates making peace, roof break, can you see it? Luck ain't even in it, this is just a bunch of heavy lifting. So look, it's a Wednesday running back, there's a W in the chat. The Catdet spitting facts, got the Catdet culture on the map. There ain't no PvP, we're preaching PvP. If you want COC, you better show you mean it. Stay in culture, let's make some more. Catdet's corner, so you call her. All the baddies is a lady, pull up, he's a lady. Killing you, me also known as that. Chatting with Kash on the back end, how it's gonna add up, change it like a cat. Gotta say I'm glad I was in the Jupiverse, like an OG status and I'm still up on the path. Cooking over gas, started the expansion. Looking like a black fan, it's fun to be a cat. If you ain't one yet, you should stick around for that. When my name turned red, I felt the first passion. I just get it moving on, making do some music and the cats like it's a groove. Truly, cats looking like a little movie. Life getting changed, that's how he said he do. We got wins here every week. I've been saying that it's heat. Every call I be getting geeked, I'm enthralled for every speaker. Updates making peace, roof break, can you see it? Luck ain't even in it, this is just a bunch of heavy lifting. So look, it's a Wednesday running back, there's a W in the chat. The Catdet spitting facts, got the Catdet culture on the map. There ain't no PvP, we're preaching PvP. If you want COC, you better show me. We got wins here every week, I've been saying that it's heat. Every call I be getting geeked, I'm enthralled for every speaker. Updates making peace, roof break, can you see it? Luck ain't even in it, this is just a bunch of heavy lifting. So look, it's a Wednesday running back, there's a W in the chat. The Catdet spitting facts, got the Catdet culture on the map. There ain't no PvP, we're preaching PvP. If you want COC, you better show you mean it. Stay in culture, let's make some more. Catdet's corner, so you call her. All the baddies is a lady, pull up, he's a lady. Killing you, me also known as that. Chatting with Kash on the back end, how it's gonna add up, change it like a cat. Gotta say I'm glad I was in the Jupiverse, like an OG status and I'm still up on the path. Cooking over gas, started the expansion. Looking like a black fan, it's fun to be a cat. If you ain't one yet, you should stick around for that. When my name turned red, I felt the first passion. I just get it moving on, making do some music and the cats like it's a groove. Truly, cats looking like a little movie. Life getting changed, that's how he said he do. We got wins here every week, I've been saying that it's heat. Every call I be getting geeked, I'm enthralled for every speaker. Updates making peace, roof break, can you see it? Luck ain't even in it, this is just a bunch of heavy lifting. So look, it's a Wednesday running back, there's a W in the chat. The Catdet spitting facts, got the Catdet culture on the map. There ain't no PvP, we're preaching PvP. If you want COC, you better show me.
Hello, and welcome to a very special 50th 50 Planetary call. It is good to be here with y'all. Let me pull up the comments and see who's here with me. Oh, all the homies are here. What a surprise. It's good to have everyone here. I see you, Hooligan, Hoonigal, dancing around there. GM, Kiki, how you been? Scarlett, happy 50th to you. Scarlett, I think, has come to every single one of the 50. I'm not mistaken. Alba's been to a bunch of them. I know OPAC's been to all of them. Drop a little number. What the fuck? Cash looking like he lost 10 kgs. Can I tell you something that's going to make everybody hate me? I'm actually trying to put on weight. I end up losing a lot of weight. Love you too, 811. Much appreciated. You got Rolex and Satchel and AJ and everybody else. Dusty asked, when's the platform launching, bro? Stick around. We're going to talk about that in 20 minutes. Molu's in the building. Guys, sees that. Clean merch. Shout out to SNS.Jup domains. Jupiter Mobile. Support them right now. Also, the shirt is great. EMD every time. Make me feel good. Appreciate you, Wake. And thank you, everybody else, for coming out for this very special one. I got good news and I got bad news for you. The good news is it's going to be a corker of a call. We got a lot of great stuff to go through. In particular, I know there's one thing that a lot of people are going to be excited about, if not multiple. Missed you as well. Here's a cashier on top. Hey, I got a new barber. And I'm a little bit worried because he works at the same place as my old barber. But my old barber was on vacation, and now I got to cheat on my barber. It's a whole new... Anyway, my personal troubles aside, the good news is we got a great call. The unfortunate news is our buddy Meow fell a little sick. So he's not going to be joining us today. It's just going to be me and May and Morden and Slorg and Chemo and a very special Catdet's Corner as well. So before we get into all of that good stuff, I'm going to need you to do me one favor. And that is to give me a little bit of patience as I quickly, rapidly try to find my goddamn screen. And there it is. And we're back. And the party begins right now with the unofficial Catdet theme song. Let's go. That is right. We are here live for the 50th Planetary Call. My name is Kash Donda. I am the cat herder over here. I'm also the Kashian cat. I didn't make this. Also, always a bit of a bummer when the AI sucks either way, right? Either they look worse than me and I feel bad, or they look better than I do in real life and then I also feel bad. But this is an AI photo. Yes, Swole Cash, thanks a lot. The internet is the one who made this. And indeed, we do not have Meow today. He is a sick cat, but he is Meowstradamus. This is AI not doing Meow any favors, by the way. Just a little shout out to Meow. Imagine a world where highly liquid markets for Forex stocks, arbitrates, all crypto assets, all commodities exist in one state machine. This is December 31st, 2023, folks. As you probably noticed, we got ourselves some stocks on chain as well. So if you see Meow around, or if you see him post something, tell him to get better soon. We miss him already. Cash, very much the AI Cash. This is Dash. I don't know. This is somebody else. But yes, that's all I tap. Let's fucking go. All right, folks. We're gonna get into it today. I saw Monika say this already. I'm going for, and this is crazy, I'm gonna say under 1 hour and 8 minutes. That's my new time. I like the new Meow, broski. Yeah, okay. I see you, Soleil. How are you guys doing down there in Argentina? We're gonna have a relatively quick one, inshallah. We'll find out. In case you don't know, the point of this call is to really catch everybody up to everything that's happening across the Jupiverse. From the products to the people to the DAO and much more. We're going to cover it all rapid fire so you can stay up to date. Here is what the agenda is going to look like today. We're going to do This Week in the Jupiverse, of course, catch up on some news, and there was more than a little bit of news. Then we're going to talk more about Jupiter Studio, which the chat is loving over here, by the way, and I'm loving to see it. No doubt we have one of the fan favorites, May, in the building to take your questions live and talk about it. Then we're going to talk a little bit more about the DAO Reset. People probably saw, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure exactly where it was, paused DAO voting for the rest of the year, regroup, reset, improve things, and evolve them. So we're going to talk about that and talk to the CWG boys who got some news for us as well. And then we're going to have a little special throwback, a little trip down memory lane. This is our special 50th edition, so I had to do a little special 50th. And then we're going to have Catdet's Corner at the very end. I don't want to say whose name is supposed to be here because he's not in the StreamYard yet, and I'm not 1,000% he's going to join. So let's find out where we go from here. 1 hour and 10 minutes is AK Ninja. 1 hour and 7 minutes. Let's go. May is in the chat as well. Oh my gosh. I bring May up on stage randomly throughout the call when she's least expecting it. The answer is yes, I should. Here she is. And oh, that time she saw it coming. Okay. Next time, May, you're not going to see it coming. So just heads up. Stay ready. All right. Yeah. If I see you picking your nose, I'm putting you right up here on the stage instantly. All right. Anyway, if you want more of May, you're going to have to wait about 15 minutes and then she'll be back on. So with all that said, let's get into Chad loves May for understandable reasons. Let's get into it, folks. This week in the Jupiverse. Here's everything that you might have missed in the last 7 days, and a bunch of stuff that did happen. Number one, with a bullet, big deal alert. You can now buy stonks, all your favorite stonks. Well, not all of them yet, but a bunch of your favorite stonks and many more to come on Jupiter. This is the global unified market theory in action, folks. We're seeing it become real. We've spoken it into existence. Jupiter, a key member of the X Stocks Alliance as they're pushing that out. Jupiter, also a member of the Ondo Alliance, I will say. Jupiter at the center of the tokenized equity game. Bunch of those are already available, and a big shout out to the Jupiter Pro team who added a new filter over on AlphaScan called Stocks. So you can go check those out, and you can see all the stocks in one place. As other providers come online, I think Xstocks is public. Xstocks is planning to bring more assets on chain. I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say about that. I think they've talked about it. Ondo is going to be bringing assets on chain. There's other companies as well that I can't mention right now. They're going to be doing it. Superstate has been pretty public about it. So we're going to have all of those in one place for you all to stay up to date on. Has anyone here bought? Give me a little W in the chat if you bought some stonks already on chain. This is a pretty big deal. I think right now there's about 25,000 holders across the 7 or 8 assets that they have. Excuse me. Broda has been up there doing it. Big deal alert. Oh, bought Tesla with Fartcoin. Good job, Molo. I'm glad for it. All right. DZ and Artis Mina and many others are out here already buying it, which is great. Go check those out. Important to remember this. These are still early stage products. These products are about 2 or 3 days old, so I would not recommend selling everything that you own and dumping it all into Tesla on chain right away, but a great place to start to experience it and start to feel the kind of magic here. By the way, this also means that you can buy these stocks from your phone on Jupiter Mobile. It means you can buy them in Phantom and Fuse and in many other places where we have Jupiter integrations, which is pretty sick. Gum is live, says Adele. This is Gum. Gum is an idea. Gum is a notion. Gum is this global unified market where we're trying to bring people together and bring assets and liquidity together as well. Molu taking my financial advice and putting it all into 401k. His whole 401k into this. Alba says Universal sends stocks. Quasi combo. That is correct, my friend. A lot of fun things are about to be enabled here. Using these as collateral, maybe that'd be kind of cool. You can't do that in real life, right? You own $5,000 of Tesla. You can't borrow against it. On chain, you can. Maybe some perps related things. Who knows? There's going to be a lot of fun things happening over here. When LP on Jup, I don't know what that means. Actually, this is a great question from Jan Pujol. But is this tokenized ownership on stocks? It is not. Well, I mean, it kind of is. So the stocks are held 1-to-1 for every stock that you buy. Every token, if you buy a Tesla token, there's going to be a Tesla share in a brokerage somewhere. But it does not give you the same rights that holding the underlying asset gives you, right? So you don't actually have voting rights and so on. Dividends are, I believe, added back into the token price. So it rebases over time based on the dividends. And there's a few other kind of wrinkles. Important to note, each company that's issuing these assets, whether it's Xstocks and backed, for these ones, Ondo in the future, or others in the future, each one has slightly different mechanics on how they work. So important to do your research as you go into this. But pretty good. Oh, wow. Look, Goldman Stash with a nice long paragraph in the chat for anyone who cares to read it. I can hide under his comment. It's so long. That's the first time that's happened. So yes, that is that. All right. Stocks on Jupiter right now. Next up, Blockworks transparency report. As you already know, Jupiter has been long committed to transparency. And actually, a little shout out to my guy Joe Doe and my guy Yano over at Blockworks. We were together in Brooklyn talking about this during Accelerate. Blockworks put together a great token transparency dashboard, and they're just trying to help clean up the space a little bit. Obviously, Jupiter and our commitment to transparency, we wanted to be in the first cohort. We were in the first cohort. We have a 39 out of 40, which was tied for the highest score in the first cohort. And we're very excited about this. Go check this out. You can learn more about Jup as well as a bunch of other tokens. Shout out to the Cloud fam. I think I saw it right before this call. They hit the perfect 40 out of 40 score. So shout out to those transparent boys and girls over there. Alpha, you love the merch. This is actually from SNS. So shout out to SNS for giving me this merch somewhere. All right. So then we go over next to Radar is now live on Jupiter Mobile. Jupiter Radar is sick. Timely alerts from dApps that you love. We already have 10 protocols, and I think every week we're going to be adding a few more. Major shout out to both the Jupiter Mobile team and the Dialect team. This is all part of the same plan, right? Hopefully it's starting to make sense to you, right? We talk about building the DeFi super app. We want to be your gateway to Solana, the only app that you're going to need to do everything that you want to do on Solana. That's why we say just use Jupiter. This is now your home base. If you are active on Solana using other DeFi protocols or non-DeFi protocols, this is what you need to do. Opt in order to see these, right? By default, you only will see the Jupiter notifications here. Broski asks, when are we going to get the full plan for mobile Q3? I want to say in a few weeks. I don't know if we're going to have a full plan as such, but there's going to be something coming over there. Drop a little just use Jupiter in the chat for me if you could, please. After that, we also launched a new homepage last week. Man, it was a busy week, huh? The Solana super app, spots, perps, portfolio, all in one. What do we think? We like the design? Give me a little W or an F in the chat if you like this new design. One of the cool things about this is that it's modular, so we can use these different boxes for different things. For example, when Jupiter Lend launches, driving a lot of traffic to it or letting people know what assets in their connected wallet might be able to get APYs and so on. This is a major push. All right, the chat digs it. This is a major push towards the super app kind of thesis. Part of the problem previously are so many products, hard to discover them all. So a big part of this design is help surface some of these products and make sure that people that love swapping on Jupiter are also downloading Jupiter Mobile, or also using AlphaScan, or also checking out Portfolio or onboarding with some of the developer kits and so much more. People dig it. And Vans has great design steps on mobile lately as well. Shout out to Aaron and the rest of the team on that one. So yeah, expect more things coming there. Big shout out to Jodo, Liwei, and Ryan for pushing this one live. Monique says, I can't say W enough. Oh, Scarlett says Juge. It's not bad. Just use Jupiter. I like that, actually. Speaking of Jupiter Pro, better, faster than ever before. Bunch of quality of life improvements here. Bubble maps integrated into the holders tab. You can hover to find similar tokens, which is actually pretty cool. Very helpful, especially for new tokens. If you're trying to find, which one is starting to build a community behind it. Design could use a bit of Cloudz in there. Yeah, we need to just get a widget that's just Cloudz' face. Hover to see similar tokens. Better filters on the transaction table. So live in the price charts. Bro keeps cooking. It's a great product. People should go check it out. Speaking of great products, the default aggregator has also gotten even better. This is a very fun one, actually, for me personally, because I, like many of you, I assume, a bit of a nerd when it comes to this kind of stuff. Now, with Metis 1.6, you can actually split down the routes to as little as 1% per route. So that means you get the precision, right? So previously, as you can see in this little screenshot, this might have been, 30-70. Instead, the perfect number is 27-73. That's exactly what you can get over here, splitting across these different hops and these different routes. So what does that mean for you? Well, it means even less slippage, even better prices, even better execution. Only on Jupiter, baby. That's where you got to go. Live on jup.ag and for the integrators of the latest APIs, not the old ones, which some people are doing over there. The best slippage is no slippage, and this is getting closer and closer to that. Can I see it? I can't say the other thing. All right, I'll skip over it. Second to last on the product side, new protocols added to Jupiter Portfolio. Those boys keep cooking. Frag staking, buy real, strong soul on Camino, now all here. And we are getting closer and closer to the most comprehensive airdrop tracker around. So get excited for that, folks. I'll leak a little bit of alpha. Jupiter might be doing some stuff in the airdrop space as well. Building some tooling, helping some people do some cool things. Maybe we'll hear about that a little bit later. All of that going to be in here as well. Guam ships. Yes. Someone please make me a shirt that just says Guam. I will give you 100 cash tokens for that. Cash tokens, which are meaningless. This is great. Guam Neeson. Make a shirt that says Guam Neeson. Even better. If you make a shirt called Guam Neeson and give it to me, I will give you 200 cash tokens. Shout out to our homie Guam over there. Yeah, this is not my wallet, by the way. 191 others. That's pretty crazy. Also, in the extended Jupiverse family, Moonshot, the homies over in the US, created Moonshot Create, and that's now on Jupiter Pro. It is the single easiest way for anyone to launch a meme coin. Super fun. Rich, Monkey Phone, Mooncoin Finance, Job, all of those have been launched recently. You can go see the latest on that. In this 24-hour period, there's 40 million. I think in the first day, there was like 100 million plus or something. Crazy amounts of volume. The Moonshot team also cooking pretty hard over there. The Geo Gang loves airdrops. The Cash token. I've long said, I've been saying this since my time at Super Team, I will launch my own token at the peak of the bull market. So if I haven't launched a token yet, that means we haven't peaked yet. You got some time. And then finally, and here's a nice little one for everybody. ASR for Q2 is now live. I believe it is literally live. You can go to the website and claim it. As a reminder, this will get claimed into your stake account. But if you voted during Q2, you can go claim your share of the ASR pie live now. Vote.jup.ag. W, wows, LFGs. Yeah, people are excited about this one. That's what I thought. Give me a little W in the chat. Look at this. It is 2 days into Q3, and we're giving you the Q2 ASR. That's pretty good. You got to shout out to YY, my guy Honey, the man with the golden pipes, and everybody else that helped put this one together. ASR is there. It goes directly to your stake account as a reminder, but very, very good. Give bonus also, says Kashmiri. I think this is enough for right now. Getting faster, smarter. Yeah, this one was a nice one. Big shout out to the team for getting this done quick. ASR is live. If you're going to get it, go get it in a separate tab. Maybe do a split screen tab so you can stay over here. Cash gives us presents. Meow gives us essays. I've also been known to give essays. But in any case, I am very excited about this and very grateful for everyone that participated in the voting in Q2. As a reminder, ASR is going to continue in Q3 and Q4. Right now, the plan is to give it to anybody who stakes based on your time-weighted stake. That might change a little bit. There will not be votes, but that might change a little bit. We might do like I don't know, we might do something. I'm not sure. There's been a lot of good ideas on Jup Research and in Discord, so we're exploring it. But right now, there will be for sure ASR in Q3 and Q4. The exact criteria for it, right now, the kind of steady state is that everyone will get it if you've staked based on your time-weighted stake. There might be 1-2 extra hoops, like kind of proof of life things to jump through as well, if need be. All right, I think that should be it. Yo, what's up, Southern? How you doing? All right, I think that is all over there. So with this week in the Jupiverse, just claim and stake. Listen to Alpha on NFTs, folks. Listen to Alpha, smart guys giving you the alpha. Go grab your ASR, go stake it, and enjoy it. That's the good stuff. All right, we got Jupiter Studio now. We're gonna have does she need an introduction, folks? I don't think so. There's 5,006 people watching this right now, and every single last one of them knows her. She's the woman, the myth, the legend, Empress of the Jupiverse, May. What's going on, May?
I'm just an intern in my pajamas, ready to sleep.
That's a joke. May doesn't sleep. We all know that. She's usually up till 3 or 4 in the morning, it seems. May, what's going on? I know you just put out a little bit of an essay yourself, actually. You were kind of taking a page out of Meow's playbook here. Should we pull that up? You want to talk through it?
Yeah, can we?
We can indeed. We have the technology. 1 second.
Very advanced technology right here.
All right, here we go. I assume you want to read it. Yes, please take it away, May.
Yeah, Jupiter Studio will be ready to launch tomorrow morning Asia time. And we have built you guys a culture design lab.
Yo!
Everybody needs to say in the chat.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the whole thing, by the way. Deep breath.
Culture design lab.
I did. You're giving financial advice here, contrary to the legal advice that we received for this essay post, huh?
Yeah, I know. The lawyer told me not to put it in, but I'm like, have a sense of humor. It's going in.
You know what we say? Fuck the lawyer. And I know he's watching this right now. Fuck you. That's what May says. I love lawyers. I'm a big fan of lawyers. May is the wild card rebel. All right. Yeah. So what is Studio? Who is Studio actually built for?
Yeah. So Studio is a very powerful platform that's built for culture architects. So all of us now can be culture designers and culture architects. Yeah, Studio is really extremely powerful when it's built for aggressive experimentation. We are giving you a lot of tools for growth and collaboration. Growth and alignment, and also we want to help you to build and foster a very collaborative and supportive culture between studio projects. I very quickly listed on the essay some of the things that Studio has at your disposal, and it's like a whole list. Maybe I can just pick up some of the things that I think are interesting. You get swap fees after bonding as well. You get 50% of the graduated LP ownership after 1 year, and this can be pretty substantial depending on the market cap of your project. You get to choose your put min, USDC, so Jup as well. And I think like an interesting use case for creator fees in USDC would be to fund operations, because you don't have to sell your token in order to fund operations. So I think that would be interesting. A very flexible market cap for the bonding curve, so you can literally customize and enter whatever you want. You can select anything from 0 to 80% of token vesting. With a cliff and with a schedule, you can turn on anti-snipers suite so that you don't rock yourself when you launch. And also, I think like something that I'm very excited about is the content pages and the studio pages that we have for every token. And on these content pages, you just have to connect your wallet, the deployer wallet, to post content, and you can put in text in Markdown, which really drove our devs crazy, because they're like, oh, this is like such a strange feature, and it's like so unconventional. Like, are we really doing this? But I think this would be super exciting for like anon devs who don't necessarily want to manage an additional social. They can just log in, connect their wallet. They can post something, even if your socials get banned, you can say something to your audience, and this information flows directly through to your Jup.ag token page. So if you look at the studio tokens on Jup.ag, you will see a tab that says featured content, and whatever you post on your studio page is streamed directly to that token page on Jup.ag, where all the traders are anyway. So they will see your announcements, they will see your updates, and I think that's super exciting, and I can't wait to see what people come up with.
Do you know how many people come to Jup.ag, by the way? I just found out yesterday.
I don't know.
In a
Tell
month?
me.
Yes.
Tell me.
12.9 million is the number that I saw on Cloudflare. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yes, that is where the attention is. Don't quote me on that. We'll come back on that later on. But yeah, it is a fuck ton of people. May, can you tell the people a little bit more on how this 50% of the graduated LP after 1 year, first, what happens to the other half? It stays there as liquidity and you have the option to remove it, I assume?
Yeah, so when your token graduates, whatever capital that's raised from your bonding curve would be matched with a corresponding amount of tokens, and it goes to a Meteora pool. So that amount for like a maybe $5-6 million token would be half of the LP would be about 500K worth of liquidity there. And after 1 year, that will be unlocked to the creator wallet, and you have that creative freedom to communicate what you want to do with it. So you can decide and figure out the new meta. So I think like we are really going aggressive on this in order to give creators that room to experiment with token design and to become a culture designer with all of these things. So yeah, I came up with some. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that I think what is very cool about this is it is the first time where you're seeing actual like long-term alignment built in at the tooling level. What does this mean? It probably means that a lot of the scammers, or not scammers is too strong, a lot of the people that are just kind of launching 10 tokens a day, they're not going to want to use Studio. And that's fine, right? Because Studio is not a place for people who are trying to launch. I think I saw a stat about Pump the other day that it was like the top 1% or 0.1% of like profitable Pump people had launched like 1,000 tokens or something like that. Like, there are people who are in the business of launch tokens. Nothing wrong with it. Go with God. Do your life. That's not really what Studio is for. Studio is for people who are actually trying to build a culture and a community and run some experiments and see what happens. And you have this kind of ensured alignment that, hey, you want to keep this alive because 1 year from now is when the LP actually comes to you. Can you talk a little bit about the swap fees, May? Like, what are the fees that are being charged here? What kind of numbers are we looking at?
We charge 1% of our fees, and that is split half to the creator and half to the platform.
Very cool. So 1% on, I don't do math in public, so I'm not even going to try to do it. Yeah, Molu says, in the chat. Studio is for the movements, says Wait. That's right.
Say,
Why do I have a sneaking suspicion someone's going to launch an token and put your face on it? I have a sneaking suspicion.
Do not put my face on it.
All right. And then finally, can you talk a little bit more about the anti-sniper suite? I know Meteora has done a lot of great work there, but what all is included here, and why is this so important?
Yeah, so we set, so this would be a randomized value that between 15 seconds to 60 seconds at the start of your launch, and it adds a fee to it that linearly decreases over time. So this gives your users some time to react. So when you launch a coin in the first minute or so, usually the bots or the people watching your wallets will get in very, very quickly. So adding some kind of a random value on it gives users some time to react. Because usually if someone is buying a coin on a UI, they will look at the output value. And if there is a high text on it, they can kind of know that they are not going to do a swap. But for a bot, it might be harder to do that. So that is our way of helping people who are just casually experimenting and casually creating tokens. But it's up to you. It's a very flexible thing. So if you don't want it, just go to the custom mode and turn it off.
As Ferry says, the goal here is that you have the option to MEV and snipers get punished, but legitimate traders aren't affected. It's adaptive. It's a very cool piece of tech. This is all, at least in my perspective, like an experiment to try to improve the token launch space. Somebody said, who is going to lock tokens, LMAO? Not sure. I mean, I can tell you who's definitely not going to launch tokens is people who are trying to pump and dump stuff. That doesn't really align with what we're trying to build here, because that's not where culture comes from. Culture comes from, continued engagement with the same set of ideas from a similar group of community members that grows over time, right? And I think that this is the first time we're seeing a tool that kind of goes against a lot of what people think is required to succeed. Oh, we have to make it easy to max extract, et cetera, towards an entirely different market. I will say this is not a platform for charity. I mean, you could use it for charity as well, but it's not like only for saints to use it. 50% of the swap fees, especially if you can get some volume on your token, can end up being fairly substantial and give you more than enough runway to actually run the project effectively without having to dump on anybody. This is just kind of aligning traders, community members, creators, culture architects, I should say, and everybody else together.
Yeah, I actually think that the token lock function is pretty interesting. Like you can lock tokens, you can vest it monthly, you can add a cliff. So the tokens are vesting once the token graduates, and then it would unlock after a cliff of 6 months or 12 months. So you decide your token configuration at launch, and it is very transparent to your community. It's there on your studio token page. People can see exactly what the settings are. So if you don't have to be the one sniping the token or buying in first as a dev, you can just set aside the tokens under the vesting schedule, and people can see exactly what it is.
That's right. So just to kind of recap here, there's 3 different ways. OG had asked a good question for clarification. Shout out to the OG. Clarify, it takes a year for creators to utilize LP fees. As I understand it, May, it's swap fees, day 1, vesting of tokens to your taste and your interest, and that's clearly communicated to buyers so that they also have transparency. And then finally, after the year, half the LP comes to you. Is that right? There's kind of 3 different ways to find budget in this?
Like when OG is asking about LP fees, he probably means it's what we categorize as swap fees. So fees, the fees that people make, you have this like 50% of the LP as locked, and it's owned by your dev wallet, locked for a year, but the fees will come to you immediately.
Love to hear it. Let's see, was there anything else down here that you wanted to call out? Maybe some example use cases here?
Yeah, I came up with some very cliche examples, but I can do the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E. And they're just very cliche examples, but I think it's a simple way to show you some possibilities that are out there with all of these options.
Which is your favorite of these? Which ones do you want to see the most?
I don't know. I kind of like a lemonade stand. Like if a 9-year-old out there can spin up a lemonade stand token and use creator fees to buy lemon trees to grow her lemon empire, I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I also really like the Anon rally.
No socials needed. I like the 3-3 experiment. This is a really cool idea that you do 80% immediate vest. That's clear to anyone who's participating in the pre-bond, and then as soon as it does go live, then you commit to airdropping it to everybody else. Could be interesting. Could be very interesting. All right. Anything else that you want to say here, May, before we take some more questions?
Yeah, so I think let me know if you have any questions. Let me know how we can support you. I think we'll be there vibing with you, cheering you on, and just doing everything that we can to make this a very supportive ecosystem for people who want to experiment, for people who want to push the new meta forward, for people who want to create their own social movements.
It's good stuff. So now we can take some questions from the chat here. Mostly people are talking about Lemon Empire and saying thank you. Any questions on how Studio is going to work or example use cases? What was that?
Sorry, I missed the question.
Oh, I was asking them for questions.
Oh, okay.
Jewel says, if you wish to airdrop to cadets, DM me. Let's see. Can I speak? AA? You can type. That's
I think we are thinking about building out an airdrop function on Studio, so I think that'll be pretty cool too. We'll just keep building out tools to help you to coordinate all of that.
I'm a humble man. All I want is an airdrop option for Jup stakers, just like one click. Oof. Let's get Jup stakers airdrop after airdrop here. That would be fun.
That would be sick.
Somebody asked, is there a test token launched for this stream? May? Queen of launching tokens accidentally. Did you launch one accidentally on this one? No, she did not.
The lawyer is really mad at me. Financial advice. I will not get into any further trouble.
Please, we got to clip this and send it to him. Let's see. What time in UTC? Do we have an exact time for the launch, May? Do you want to say the time or no?
No, yeah, Asia morning.
Asia morning. Will this be Jupe's own launch pad?
When will there be Jupe's own launch pad? Like what kind are you talking
I
about?
also did not understand, Joker. What's in a name as LP unlock option after a year? Am I too degen to understand the metas being created with this option? You have a year to create trust. Is that one of them?
Yeah, I think if you're able to sustain a community and build it up over a year, then your token just gets bigger and bigger, right? And the liquidity gets deeper and deeper. And then by a year's time, you would be able to withdraw some of that to fund growth or airdrops or whatever without damaging like the trading volume.
Yeah, people rug pull gets used so often now that I feel like a lot of folks don't even know where the term originally came from. But it comes from the concept of taking all the liquidity in the LP pool and pulling it all out, or dumping a lot of tokens in such that you like crash the price or something like this, right? That is not possible here. This is like not because you don't have the LP and funds are kind of added in there and locked. So it's harder to do that. Now, of course, if you do an instant vest of 80% and all this other kind of stuff, like things can get a little bit trickier. But again, all of that is shown very clearly to anyone who's purchasing the token or getting into the community right there. Does May consult? Not going to show that one. Let's see. I can't see what else it is. Any plans to shift holders and creators mindset for studio? Fees LP only to creators. It's not very PPP. Not sure what this means.
Yeah, maybe to holders. So I think he wants like the fees to go to holders. I think that's up to the project. You can always choose to redirect. We can give you tools to help you to airdrop or to help you to distribute that to your holders. We have to figure out how to do that, but yeah, it's possible. I think right now at the start, if a project decides to airdrop to their holders, they have to manage it off the platform right now. We can certainly cook something up over time to help you on studio.
Nice. Folks, if you have any other like ideas for how May and the gang can make this better for you, feedback.jupe.ag is a great place to go and get it listed. Ask, how can someone who has never been in Web3 get excited about this? And what are the first steps? How will the initial liquidity be injected?
Yeah, so the great thing about it is you don't need initial liquidity because it's a virtual price on the bonding curve. So all you need to pay is gas fees to start a token, to launch a token. And as people buy into your token, that forms the initial capital and it fills up the bonding curve. And when that token hits your threshold and it graduates, then that liquidity would be migrated to Meteora. So you don't need to inject or to create initial liquidity.
That's right. Kayam asks, can Jupe Studio have a feature to LP distribution for users at launch? I assume this means holders more so than users.
Yeah, does this mean an airdrop or what is LP?
I think that's what he's asking. LP feature to LP distribution for users at launch.
To help the LP, like users who have that token, they want to help LP that token. Right now you have to go to Meteora and deposit to that pool. But I think it'd be very interesting if we can see some kind of a collaboration to make that easier. So people who don't know how to LP, we can suggest something to help you get started over there. So anyone from the Meteora side hearing this?
Zen, Soju, if you're watching this. What would the market cap start be? So I think Punch maybe didn't see last week or two, but for anyone else who missed it, how are the kind of starting prices determined, May? Surely you get locked into one single number only, right?
No, it's whatever you want. You can put in 69042, which is what I did on a test token, and that is perfectly acceptable. So it's really up to you. And I think like we want to encourage or give like people that optionality. So you don't have to be a big project. You can create a test token. You can create a social coin for your family. Start with a low market cap. Or if you're someone like who really has a big project and you know that there'll be a lot of people who are interested, you can set a higher market cap. So then you name your price. It's like whatever you think this thing is worth, you name your price.
One point here, I just want to scroll up and find it. Evan asked, did Meow launch the test cat Meow? No. Meow has not launched any tokens. do not, if anyone, I think what happened is I believe, this could be a little bit wrong, but I think what happens on Moonshot Create, you can just kind of say your own username and somebody said their username was @WhereMeow. That's not actually Meow's token. Jup is Meow's token. This is really cool. Excited for legit projects to launch there, says Shiva. Let's see. When will Jup Studio be available to users? Launching tomorrow, Asia time in the morning. Let's see. Leave me alone, says Ordy. All right, folks, last chance for questions, and then we'll go. Such as all the other platforms, our token address is going to end in call. Call. How would they end in call?
It ends in Jups, Jups, Jups.
Jups. Jups. All right, there we go. Okay,
But,
folks, I think
that token can be grinded. The vanity address can be grinded by anyone. So always check on the Jup Pro website to see if it is indeed a Jup Studio token.
it's great. Great shout. Great shout. Yes. For anyone who doesn't know, actually, it's a fun little thing, is that you can just kind of manually create vanity addresses on chain. So your public key, which is a long string of random numbers and letters, you can actually just keep retrying until you get something that looks nice, like a vanity license plate, basically. So if anything is from Jupiter Studio, it's going to have Jups at the end, but just because it has Jups at the end does not mean that it's from Jupiter Studio. It's a bit of a rectangle square situation. So make sure to do your research. May, anything else that you want to say here?
No, I'm super excited for you guys to get started, to cook, and to see what kind of experiments show up on Jup Studio. Let me know if there's anything we can do to support your journey and to help you to thrive and to do well.
WTP says the same thing we were talking about earlier, Drip and Jup Stakers. Folks have ideas for May, and I think May's going to keep cooking, as she always does. May, thank you so much. Excited to see the launch tomorrow morning, Asia time.
Bye.
Bye, May. Jupiter Studio, going to be a lot of fun, folks. Excited to see all the different experiments people have. Hopefully, we're going to get people trying out kind of new metas and using tokens for new purposes, right? In the Web4 vision, this idea of issuing social money for community formation and community empowerment, quite honestly, to be able to form communities around cool experiments, that is why Jupiter Studio exists. For all the culture architects out there putting it together. All right, May is amazing, RJ. That is correct. And yes, I think we'll get the airdrop to communities thing going relatively soon. All right, folks, with that said, let's go into the next section here, which is the great DAO reset. People probably saw, but there's 7,422 people on this call, so might be some folks who missed it. DAO governance has been paused for the rest of the year. Governance will return in 2026 with a new face, but the work is beginning now. So already there's been tons of great discussion on feedback.jup.ag, in the Discord, on the Jup research forums. We see it all. I know I personally am not responding at all because I just got back from a little bit of time off, but I'm going to respond to it and love to see all the different ideas that are coming in. The one thing that we know is that in 2026, the DAO will look different, DAO 2.0. And so there's going to be different structures, different processes, different approaches that allow us to avoid some of the issues that we've had in the past with the DAO. And over the next few months, the goal is to work hand in hand with the community to develop the right frameworks. Again, Jup, we're not saying goodbye to governance. We're saying we'll see in a little bit governance. We want to come back better, bigger, stronger, faster. And that is the idea over here. Let's make DAOs great again, says Lucas. And indeed, that is the goal here. So just again, I'll keep saying this over the next 6 months, basically. Do not expect the DAO 2.0 to look exactly like DAO 1.0. There might be some different things that are happening. The mission will remain the same, that the DAO is here to accelerate the growth of Jupiter products, community, and ideas. But there might be different ways in which we make that happen. To talk about the DAO and kind of its current state and what is going to happen to the CWG going forward, I want to bring up on to the stage one person, Chemo Selectin. You know him, you love him, and look at this. He's got 3 heads all of a sudden, like a chimera?
Like a Cerberus.
Cerberus, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
A Hydra. If you cut one off, another 2 grow. It's fine.
What's going on, boys? How you guys doing? I'll let you take it away. For anyone who doesn't know, maybe we can start off with just a quick introduction to what the core working group is and what you guys have been up to.
Yes, sure. We were the original work group. We formed formally in April of 2024. However, there was sort of a prototyping before that. Meow had reached out to a few prominent ecosystem contributors. He said, hey, Jupiter's starting a DAO, and he thought that we should all apply together. This was originally 5 people. It was Durden, Cryptic, Chemo, myself, and another contributor who will remain anon because he did leave after the first week. However, over time, several people shifted in and out of the group. Morton, as you can see up here, has risen to become quite a prominent figure within the DAO and Jupiter as a whole. Also, our other 2 members who aren't here, AG and Jay Porta. We've had kind of a broad and interesting scope. I think Meow originally had some interesting ideas for things that could help glue the Jupiverse together that weren't necessarily all of the cut of the same cloth, very different scope. Included grants, included maintaining a Welcome to Solana page, included moderating the Jupiter community, included token lists, include all these different things that were kind of cobbled together originally.
It was indeed a little bit of a whatever it takes, basically, kind of situation as it was being figured out in the early days. Slurk looking spiffy, it says in the chat. So as Chemo Selection have been going on, let's talk a little bit about what the update from your guys' end is as it relates to the DAO pause.
Yeah, I guess we have a pretty big announcement today, and I think I'm just going to come out and say it, but with the advent of the 6-month voting pause and in the spirit of the DAO Reset, we sort of took some time to evaluate our own scope, and really we came to the realization that almost all of it had been completed in some form. We originally set out for this to be a 4-year task, but after taking a full audit of everything we set out to do and everything we've accomplished, although there's a couple of maintenance things that I would say are important, the CWG as it was designed has reached the natural point of completion. The DAO has simply changed so much since we started 18 months ago with a specific vision and a specific orientation that I think it's evolved beyond the need for the core work group as it was originally envisioned.
Yeah, I think to add on to that too, like I would say 50% of our scope was stewarding votes, and if there are no votes for the next 6 months, like there's a lot of work behind the scenes in getting votes ready. Whether that's just the first proposal review and the 75 iterations of that, and then it going out and then having to deal with the 75 iterations of FUD or excitement or whatever it might be. Like that was at least 50% of our scope. Maybe not on paper, but in time dedication, that was a huge component of it. So it doesn't really make sense for the core work group to try and fill that time differential with busy work for the DAO on a fiduciary duty point of view, or just from okay, I'm going to go and try and fill this time that we spent with other things. So
yeah. Like I said, I think there's a few maintenance things, and I think those are very important to get into the right hands, but I don't think it really necessitates a full group at this point in time anymore.
Morton, anything you want to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think most of it has been said already, but the way I imagine it, the CWG, both the work before I joined in and the work since I joined, has essentially been pioneering a very early effort of the DAO. And what we're seeing now is that a large part of our original scope has reached a natural conclusion. Some of it we've kind of iterated over multiple times, and for me at least, it makes sense to look at this through the lens of the DAO Reset. Like, I think it's time for something new.
Absolutely. So there's 2 things that I think are very important to say. The first one, as they already said, is without the CWG, not just the DAO, but I don't think Jupiter would be where it is at currently without them. Over the last 18 months, without their kind of leadership, I don't think that a lot of the work groups would have happened. I don't think a lot of grantees would have got it. And I think, quite honestly, they were as much doing kind of DAO processes as they were doing DAO politics, right? They were actual politicians out there kind of driving forward, pushing for ideas, fighting for ideas, both in public and in private, giving feedback, coming to the table with ideas, building fucking websites, building all sorts of different shit, collateral, running the biggest Jupiter kind of biggest Jupiter affiliate page. and much, much more, right? Anyone who has spent any time on Twitter or in Discord or at any real life events is going to know some of the impact that the CWG had, because we would not be here without them. That's the first thing. So I see a bunch of people saying thank you in the chat already. A little thank you to the boys over here for work that, let me tell you right now, I don't know if it looked glamorous on the outside, but I saw that sausage was made on the inside, and it was far from glamorous work. It was, you know, a lot of shoveling shit to make sure that the trains ran. And so for that, it's very good. And the second thing, I see honorable coming up in the chat. I think that's absolutely true as well. What's very cool about this is, like, so much of the narrative about DAOs in general is that they're just like open candy drawers to be looted by anyone who can get close enough in this like insider dynamic. And what you have here is the exact opposite, the demonstration of how the Jup DAO is different, of how like core leaders, rather than just sitting back trying to collect a check and whatever, said to themselves like, hey, this is not, we've done the thing that we needed to do. There's gonna be a new version of the DAO coming in. All of them are going to be critical parts of those conversations, by the way, and some of them might come back in different ways in the future and into DAO too. But CWG, as it currently exists, does not need to continue to exist. That is, that's what we call integrity. That's what we call like putting the community first. And that's exactly the kind of leadership that we want to see out of people in the DAO. So guys, I know I'm at the risk of overly glazing. It's a little Krispy Kreme in here right now. I just think this is a very cool thing that you guys are doing, and wanted to let you know how much it's appreciated. It seems like the chat would agree on that.
Yeah, that was a very important part to us, because we did like, was there a scope we could have cobbled? Yes, but it just wouldn't have felt right and it wouldn't have made sense. And therefore, like, it's just simply unnecessary. I will say, though, that of the remaining members and contributors, several of them will continue their efforts in the Jupiverse in some form or another, hopefully. Some people will be leaving for other things. But I just want you guys to know that we will always be here for you. And if you ever want to reach out in the chat or a DM or something, just go right ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And in honor of this historic announcement, Slug is going to dox himself for the first time. He's going to turn on his video so that you guys know who you're talking to. Slug, take it away. First time ever.
There's 2 people in Web3 who I've accidentally done it to. I don't think one of them noticed, though.
Am I one of the people that did not
Did you
notice?
do it to me?
No,
I didn't
Yeah.
notice.
No one in this call.
Gotcha. Opex says, thank you so much for being OGs and work with the community. One, been given the chance from the DAO. Thank you so much for your contributions. Yay. A lot of people over here getting into the thank you game. I think that's really, again, it's honorable, it's high integrity move, and the impact that was caused is like obvious. The amount, I'm sure if any of you ever want DAO consultant gigs, you can make a very lucrative career out of consulting for other DAOs going forward as well. Maybe I think okay.
Yeah, I just kind of want to give next steps is that over the next couple weeks, we're going to make sure anything that we have on our plates is handed off adequately to where it needs to go. We're going to present all of our guidance and any guidelines we made to the team to help maybe inform their future decisions. We put out that contributors guide, and there's items in it, including like quarterly reports and like budget reviews and such. We're going to formally pass that off to the team and make sure any work groups that are winding down complete their processes as well.
We're also not a bad Tinder date or whatever. You know, we've been around for a year and a half. It's not like we're just going to go ghost. So, yeah.
Can I also just say, I know we're trying to be a little bit serious here, but somebody had the best comment earlier, which was that Kimo Sabe looks like a non-evil version of Logan Paul. I thought that was just too good.
I gotta go.
I don't know who said that, but I thought that was excellent. And yes, so if you want to continue to see non-evil Logan Paul, all you got to do is stick around in the Jupiverse. He's not going anywhere. And indeed, I think that the kind of insights that you guys have garnered over the last 18 months are worth their weight in gold here. Do you want to share some of the biggest lessons that you've learned over the last 18 months?
I think for me, the biggest thing was like realizing, you know, because I've been doing DAO stuff for like a solid, basically 4 years now in some form or another. Sometimes it was like, you know, JPEG DAOs or whatever, but it really took this experience for me to recognize that like there's a very stark difference between a community and a DAO. Like they are 2 separate things, and if you treat them as one, you're not going to be as effective at either. So I think like the next 6 months is kind of the time where we can focus on Jup the community and make that what it is and what it is supposed to be, and it doesn't have to be distracted by politics and sort of outside forces coming in any way, shape, or form, and kind of like throwing a stick into the community and letting them smack each other with it. So I think like it's a really bullish thing for Jup the community and also Jup the DAO. But I do think like after this pause, there's going to need to be a meaningful like delineation between those things, because they really are two fundamentally different things. And that was kind of my biggest lesson throughout this. It seems obvious in hindsight, but
I've had a lot of lessons. It's hard to pick just one, but I guess like the one that keeps coming into mind, the one that always stays relevant is, and I promise you, I keep thinking about this, is that making the right decision isn't always the full solution. You can make a right decision, but that doesn't mean it will be perceived as such. And it just speaks to like, at least in the Jupiter DAO and the size of this community, that we have so many different people with different viewpoints and all of that, and trying to figure out something that works for all of them is actually very, very complicated. So something that might be logical on paper, when you drill down, might not actually. So, which is why I know we have in the past and more recently as well, like we've been leaning more on feedback, like for instance, feedback to jup.ag, research, etc. Like just getting those opinions from the DAO, because like often most there's a lot of different angles that I just haven't thought about. So I would say never make decisions in a vacuum, because we are in fact a large community.
Slugman?
There's so much. I would say a lot of them were just personal lessons about myself and how I've developed. But I would kind of vamp on Chemo's idea, and I think.
Hold on. Give us the personal lessons. What did you learn about yourself?
I mean what's
it's just the four of us here and 8,400.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking, what's that quote from the Tao Te Ching? The eternal Tao cannot be spoken, or something like that, where it's very, a lot of these things are just embodied and learned. But I do feel like a very different person after the last 18 months. I do want to give a DAO lesson, though. I kind of want to vamp on Chemo because I do think he has something really like poignant there. I think finding the overlap between like a business, a DAO, and a community is much, much harder than anyone could anticipate. And I would hope that like people do have like some patience and mercy for the Jupiter team itself, because that is not an easy task, like let alone two of those things, but all three, and getting alignment between them is rough. It's not something you can do in a month. It's not something you can do probably in a year. It does take time, but I feel like once you do have really good alignment between those things, it does form like a pretty stable structure.
Yeah, I mean, this is life at the frontier, folks. It doesn't always go exactly according to plan. You learn a lot of vital life lessons. Never make decisions in a vacuum, for sure. I mean, I think I've been deeply surprised about how passionate people can be about big and small things, and I mean that both on the good side as well as the bad side. People get very worked up over very small things sometimes. That's news to me, but indeed, we're trying something that's never really been tried. Certainly, it's never been tried with earnestness at this kind of scale before. And as I said, this would not be here without you guys as well. Slorg isn't going as he is just the ending of the CWG. Indeed, it is the end of the CWG. It is not the end of the people in the CWG, I hope. I think that they all have, vibrant lives, except for Slug. I don't know what he does in the dirt all day.
Actually, unfortunately, Morton developed a program that ties my life force to our on-chain proposal. So, like, bye, guys.
You're just in a coma for the next 6 months. Is that what's going on here? Just in the airstream by yourself in the desert.
Exactly. People wanted accountability solutions, so I was like, this is the best one.
Yeah. But we're going to be putting out a post later to accompany this. It'll have a bit more details. One thing I also want to do is I want to specifically shout out all of the contributors we've had, OX Ray, Isaac, and Scarlett. They're amazing community members, and I'm really proud and appreciative of everything they've done for us.
Don't forget about Jay.
I consider Jay like a team member, so like a
Yeah,
team.
he is.
Yeah, a lot of great talent in not just in the CWG, but great talent spotting outside of the CWG as well. And there's a bunch of grantees and other work groups who I don't think would exist without some of the work that you guys did. Can I also say one other thing? CWG did go above and beyond. I know Sorg was talking earlier about their scope. It's like you guys were super helpful in like the new support team that we put together in February. That wouldn't have happened in the same way without the CWG, and a lot of product stuff. Great product. I mean, there's too many things. We can make this call an hour and a half of just praising the CWG. But doing the high integrity thing, the thing that they didn't have to do. This is very much their decision, I think is fair to say, and it's great to see. And so love to hear it. Any final words for folks from the CWG here?
I don't know what to say really. Like I've been reading the chat throughout this, and it's like I'm sitting here in my Catdet contributors T-shirt, and I'm almost getting a little bit emotional about all the responses. So I guess I will end with a simple thank you to all of the community, really, to everyone I've interacted with, to everyone I've worked with. It's been a pleasure.
Slorg, Kimo, final statements for this call, not forever, obviously.
Yeah, I generally am the comedic relief in these things. So when asked to be emotionally vulnerable, I just get kind of awkward. But no, I think like this was, it's the whole thing was like a once in a lifetime opportunity. There is nothing like what it was to be a CWG member. There is no job on earth like it, and there's nothing that makes you qualified either. There's nothing that could prepare you. I don't know. Maybe you could grab like Elon Musk or somebody who's been a CEO for their whole life, and they'd still be like, "Holy shit!" But yeah, I think it has been an immensely growing experience. Even if some of the lessons are non-obvious, I think that it'll end up paying dividends for many, many years, metaphorically speaking, primarily, just in terms of like, oh yeah, I already dealt with that. And, I think that's amazing.
Oh, me?
As Bra says, Slorg is so shy. That's true. He's very shy today. Slugman, any last words for this call?
I know. I think I see like a lot of people are sort of maybe be sad, or just it's not sadness. It's more like gratitude. But I think like we should be happy here that we recognize this as like a natural endpoint, and we're not trying to like just cobble something in our own self-interest just for its own sake. And I think that to me that is really symbolic of like the actual progress of the DAO here. And like the more I think about the more the more hope I do have for the future of the DAO, for sure.
I think so as well. This is definitely going to live deep into the lore going forward. I think it, like George Washington not deciding to run for a third term or whatever it was, could have held on to power, could have expanded his power. Similar to CWG, could have kept, trying to kind of finagle their way through. They did the high integrity thing, and that is much appreciated. Please do me a little favor, drop a little W in the chat for the CWG and everyone that they've been working with. Somebody please also make an edit with some like sad music, like that music that's in all the donate to a veterinary shelter stuff with the comments.
I mean, while you were talking with May earlier, I was working on, I don't know if you can hear it through these headphones, but I was working on doing what is it? It's Crazy Frog. Oh. I don't know, something like that.
I was imagining something more emotional and sentimental, but maybe that's the right attitude.
Are we really ending? Are we really ending this on Crazy Frog, Kimo? Is that the route you decided to go?
I have my keyboard's in monophonic mode, so unless you want me to just like.
That's nice. That's a nice little. That's right. This is a disco setup. This is not a goodbye. It's a celebration of some great folks who did some great work and will continue to contribute in all sorts of different ways. I can promise you're going to see a lot of these folks around going forward. CWG,
I do want to say one last thing, and I do want to kind of move it away from us because I think the DAO is just so much bigger than us at this time. But one thing I really want to see, and one thing that I'm very hopeful in Uplink to accomplish, is to see like a stronger, like, I guess, like North Star and cadence for the community. Like what I think the votes for the longest time was the thing that brought us all together. I think there should be other things as well. And I'm very hopeful in this initiative that Uplink is pioneering with Stash, and that we're also supporting, to really get like the community on board with content creation and orienting them in that direction. I think there's other things that can be done for sure. Like I know you in particular, Kash, have ideas about like a DeFi education and such, and I think it's a really good idea. But I would like to see the community come together more on things of that nature.
+1,
Absolutely.
+1.
+1. You're going to continue to see these guys all around. On behalf of the community, thank y'all very much for coming out now and for all the great work that you guys did. We'll see you guys very soon, I am sure. Peace, boys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Next time.
All right. Well, we're going to move from that. It's not the end. It's just a new beginning. That is right. We're going to move from that DAO Reset update to do a little golden Jupilee. We are at 50 planetary calls deep here. And so shout out to Morton and Srijani, who put together some of the favorite clips as identified by some of the COCs of what has happened over the favorite moments in the last 50 calls. Let's take a look at it. If you remember this, drop a little W in the chat. That's going to be my ask. This is an iconic line, and a line that made it onto t-shirts at Catdet Bowl.
Your favorite influencer spread fake news. He probably knew the news by now and he didn't reboot it, okay? Right? So go and tell your favorite influencer to fuck off.
That was one of my favorite. That's immediately one of my top 10 favorite moments of all time. Fuck your favorite influencer. An angry meow is the most fun meow, that's for sure. But speaking of him, here's another classic moment as identified by
Everyone is asking, everyone's saying, okay, if you guys want to grow a thing, go to Coinbase. Are we so uncreative as a community? Only way for us to actually get users to get this on the stacks? Guys, come on, man. Like seriously, guys, are we really fucking uncreative? I'm so tired of this, okay? It seems like our industry, right? The only solution to anything, right, is getting this on the stacks. Oh, when stacks. Get lit, guys. Seriously, man. Come on.
What did I say? Angry meow. If you were there for this one, give me a little W in the chat as well. Too good. Another classic moment. We just had chemo on. It is midnight over here in Singapore. How many push-ups can you do? That's the question.
Let's try it.
I can do like, it's going to be a little bit long, so I'm just going to go. But there was a time in Singapore live during Breakpoint, I think. I don't even remember why we were all there. Meow and Chemo did a live push-up contest, which I very wisely decided not to do. This happened on the call as well. Meow did win. Meow still owes me 1,000 push-ups, by the way. He still has not paid me on these. Man, this is making me emotional as well. What else? We got Siyoung, the peak performer. This is arguably, this should be your desktop background if it is not. Siyoung is dead during a meeting. And his quote was, "I was lying on a sofa. There were many people behind me." How he tried to justify that. Another classic moment here. Big shout out to all the Catdets that came out onto Catdet's Corner over time. Thank you for all putting up with my random questions as well, and my strange looks. We had another classic moment live from Aggregate, one of the most fun planetary calls we've ever had. I'm here joined by the one and only the Alley Cat. Alley Cat is in the chat. Energy. Folks.
I was on Spaces with Meow about 2 months ago. I asked him a difficult question. He loves when people ask him difficult questions.
That he does.
And then I basically just asked him, "Hey, you're going to be at Aggregate in May, Nick's courtside," and he was like, "Let's fucking go." So guess what? Everyone is here except for Meow, but Meow is the reason that this happened.
But yeah, you've done a fabulous job here. We'll go through this a little bit faster, but live on the call, Alley Cat learning that he was becoming a COC.
Don't make me like shed a tear.
Get a little
right
emotional.
now.
Look of disbelief.
Is this for real?
This is for real. This is for
Bro,
real.
you know
I
what?
believe.
For that reason, I'm gonna just shine Bro, I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna shine.
Flex on him a little bit.
COs. Really?
That is real. That is real. Alley Cat, the goat. This was a very fun one, a nice sentimental one as well. But whatever these were, I guess these are some other highlights. This is for real. That was the best line. I don't know. I have no recollection of either of these two photos, if I'm being very honest with y'all. But they happened, I guess. So that was pretty fun. And I did not make this slide. But yeah, it's been my absolute pleasure to be along with you for the last 50. I should get a bow in my hair. Yeah, I think that these planetary calls are, I don't know if people know, but the only reason I'm even kind of part of Jupiter is because it's something called the Solana ecosystem call that I used to host. And still, like, alpha is, I'm going to start hosting it again in August. So there you go. We are, or I had Seong on. He liked it, had a great time on it, thought the community was cool. Talked to him, talked to Meow. It was right after the token was created. And we were like, hey, for the DAO, this might be a cool thing to have this kind of rhythm, this heartbeat to the community to bring people together. And here we are 18 months later, 50 calls down, 9,000 people on this call right now. Another 5 to 10,000 are going to watch it afterwards. It's pretty incredible stuff. So it's been an absolute pleasure to be with y'all over the last 50. And I'm looking forward to the next 50 and hopefully surviving them. But we'll see if that actually ends up happening. Drop a little W in the chat for the planetary call and making it 50 and all the great people who made it happen over time. It is much appreciated. And appreciate the kind words. Thank you, folks. All right. Well, with that said, we can't leave this call without doing. For the record, we're at 107. We're an hour and 7 minutes. So my hour and 8 minutes was correct, except that I wasn't sure that our next person would come on for Catdet's Corner. So hence the being wrong. But we'll do a fun one with here's the next 50 and beyond with the homie Catdet's Corner. First time, I believe. It is Mr. Famous Cloudz, folks. Drop a little JM in the chat for our guy, Famous Cloudz. Cloudz, you look different since I last.
Yo, GM, JM, or whatever it is for you during the day or night. This is my first time actually here. I've been invited never, so thank you for that, Kash. This is my first time.
And this one we invited you weeks ago, so you know it was easy to make it onto your calendar, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, this one was planned.
Cloudz, for people who don't know who you are, shame on you if you don't know who he is. Cloudz, who are you?
Cloudz, I'm a content creator, certified degenerate on Twitter, and I work for the Uplink working group, creating dope banger content, 4K bangers, short form focused, but that's literally what I do, and I lose a lot of money.
I think you made one or two of the clips we just went through, right?
Yeah, I made one of the edits.
Yeah. Those are Cloudz has got an incredible style. He's got some. You've inspired a lot of people, shall we say politely, with your style and how you do things here.
Trendsetter, yeah. Something like
That's
that.
right. That's right. You say DCA King. Anyone who follows Cloudz on Twitter, and if you haven't already, you should, is well aware of your conviction. I think that I don't know if we can maybe find that link real quick, but the number of buys that you have on Bonk. How many times have you bought Bonk? Let's just start with that.
I don't count. I literally don't look at the price tag. I just buy, whether it's like $2, $5. It depends how I'm feeling that day. And, even with Jupiter.
With Jupiter, wait, let's see. Actually, I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Can I talk about that, or is legal going to come at my neck?
Legal is already I'm gonna have a word with legal after this call. So let's keep the legal stuff down a little bit. I don't count, but yeah, I think if you were to count, you would see that it's certainly in the multiple hundreds of buys on these things. Pretty impressive stuff. More importantly, though, outside of your DCA, you're also a member of Uplink, as you said, doing a lot of the short form content there. I guess for anyone who does not already know, I'm sure most people do. But Uplink, has done a lot of great stuff. Can you share one or two of your favorite Uplink moments over the past year?
Yeah, I'd say just going to Catdet was sick. Like, it's my first time flying out of the country, first time meeting people in crypto related anything. So, and then meeting the people that I work with is kind of cool. It's a cool vibe to be with people who are doing the same thing that you're doing. And I can't really talk to anybody about what I do because nobody understands anything. Nobody understands what crypto is, or that I'm buying a freaking dog token every single day of my life. It's just crazy. So
That's not just people outside of crypto. I'm in crypto and I still can't believe it. But yeah,
Yeah, fair enough. So
That's,
I'd say that was a big one, man. And then meeting, of course, you and Meow was sick.
yeah. Can I ask why your camera's not on? By the way, that was your first time doxing as well at Catdet, right?
Yeah. I'm definitely chopped right now, so I can't really show. I don't even know why my picture's not showing up. I'm looking like I'm never done this before in my entire life. So sorry about that.
It's all good, brother. It's all good. I think there's been many kind of great moments. One of my favorites was that photo in front of Burning Cat when all of us in the Uplink group and Meow got together. That was a special
Yeah, that was
place
awesome.
in my heart, I gotta say.
I gotta frame
I don't
that.
actually. We can go a little bit further back in time. Actually, I'd love to know how you got involved in the Jupiverse to begin with.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. I literally started with the first Jupiverse drop. See, I got the airdrop and I was like, what the hell, this is kind of sick. I'm gonna throw myself, a little bit of shade. I wasn't using Jupiter as much until I got the airdrop because I don't know why.
Good knowing you, Cloudz. Bye. All right, so we're gonna end that. No, I'm joking. Come on back.
Yeah, so throw all the shade at me there. But other than that, after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start making like content or kind of just throw myself in there. I seen the opportunity that there wasn't a lot of that in the ecosystem. At least I wasn't seeing or noticing. And when the token dropped, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do Bomb 2.0 and just start offloading $5 a day or something like that, or $3, or even 50 cents. No, I'm just kidding. I was throwing way more than that. Started doing the whole DCA method with Jupiter instead, and then fell in love with the community. Started creating content just because I wanted to, and started getting recognized.
How did you and I meet? Did I just like cold DM you or something for Uplink?
I started in the satellites actually. Like
Oh,
when
that's
it was
right.
first
Yeah,
starting. Yeah.
That's what I.
Yeah, I made a
reached out.
video on how to stake Jupe, and then guess I caught your eye, and
Yeah. I mean,
at first
I
sight.
got an eye for this kind of thing, buddy. You've been doing a lot of
Cash
great
made
stuff.
me. Cash made me confirm.
No, that's. I mean, you were already famous when I found you, by the way. So I found you after like 40,000 other people did. But, no, it's been awesome being able to work together, and I think you've made mad contributions. Indeed, most of my funniest edits, or the funniest moments in the Jupiverse have come from you. There's one video in particular. Meow's not here; he's sick, so we can talk about it.
Yes.
So, do you know what I'm going to say? Do you know which one I'm going to reference?
I believe so.
The
I have so
Iggy
many of
Azalea
them,
video?
but yes, that one's the the Meow and Iggy Azalea live stream. People don't know, but that was like 3 months old, and I just found the opportunity to be like, this is hilarious. I can turn a little twist on it, and it ended up going trending like if it just happened that same day.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, buddy, I ask a question every time on this. What advice do you have to people who are watching and want to get more involved in the Jupiter community?
Yeah, I'd say just uplink all the way, Tap in with uplink. But no, honestly, just make content. Like I started off doing like being in the satellite group where it was just a bunch of creators who were just wanted to create stuff for Jupiter just cause. And that's how I kind of got my foot into the Jupiverse, started creating dope content, started communicating with everybody in the whole atmosphere or whatever you want to call it. And then started creating 4K bangers. And now I'm here with Cash having nice conversations.
How far we've come, man. Mama, we made it. Well,
We made it.
it's been a delight having you here, man. I appreciate you coming on. I'm glad everyone's got to find you. For people who don't know, Cloudz has done many workshops in the community on how to make banger edits. He's a mainstay at a bunch of events and Twitter spaces, does a bunch of the content stuff, helps on the YouTube channel, helps on Twitter, is bull posting all the time, and is a valued member of the community, I must say. There was one other thing. Oh, the last question I have for you is, what is it with you and AI kissing videos?
Whoa, what? I don't know where you got that from. I don't know who's.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, it might be a different famous Cloudz that I'm thinking of who keeps making
Yeah,
those.
there's a
Okay,
lot of.
never mind. Never mind. Sorry,
a lot of
Ryan.
odd
Mistaken
accounts,
identity,
yeah.
I suppose.
I mean, if you want to show one, I would love to like see it. I don't know. I want to see the proof for this concept that you came up with.
That I am not going. I'm not going to do.
He choked up on that one, guys. It's no coincidence, buddy.
That's a joke for like 10 people to get. My hope is that the 10 people that get that joke very much enjoy it. But all right. Well, Cloudz, appreciate you coming on, brother. Great to talk to you. We'll catch up with you very soon, buddy.
Sick. Much love, everybody.
Peace, man. All right, folks, that's going to be about it for today. I, of course, lost the time bet, as I always do. I don't know when I'm going to learn, but hopefully someday I will. Hoping Meow gets better. Again, if you see him, drop a little get well soon under him on Twitter. Stay tuned tomorrow. Well, I guess it depends on where you are, but Thursday morning, Asia time, is when Jupiter Studio is going to launch. So keep an eye out for it. Going to be very excited to see the experiments that people can do. Remember, this is for the culture architects and for communities. Bunch of great features and tools built into there to try to shift the meta and allow some new types of experiments to happen in transparent ways, delivering on that certainty, alignment, and transparency. That's going to be big. Shout out to the CWG for all their great work and deciding to wind down rather than just trying to cash a paycheck. Very much appreciated. Shout out to Srijani and Morton for collecting those great moments from the last 50 calls. That was super fun. And shout out to my guy Cloudz, as always. I will tell you this. You don't have to go home, but you cannot stay here, friends. See you next